Hello and welcome to short highlights of the Classic Brugge-De Panne, the men's world tour one-day race in its 6th edition as a one-day race, 47th edition in total, because of course it used to be the 3 days of De Panne. What a selection of the world's best sprinters. Fabio Jakobsen, Dylan Groenewegen, Jasper Philipsen, Fernando Gaviria, Sam Bennett, Pascal Ackermann, Arnaud Démare. The names just go on and on. And what they had to contend was 3 finishing laps once they'd reached De Panne itself of a 48-kilometre circuit. Very flat, very fast, and usually extremely wind affected when they crossed the moors. De Muren, the road which has seen so much action over the last 5 or 6 editions of this race. And it was to be the same again this time round. An early breakaway of 7 was hoovered up. The pressure then laid on by Alpecin de Koning, thinking about mixing things up for Jasper Philipsen, and that's exactly what happened. Happy to get involved as well once that breakaway, as we see it being caught right now. Once it was caught, happy to get involved as well. Soudal Quickstep also, as you would expect in these kind of medium heavy winds, happy to lay down the watts, and that's exactly what happened. The breakaway was caught, and as they entered the long straight coming back towards De Panne itself, along the moors themselves, the watts were really laid down and the little gaps started opening up. One of the riders who was doing so much work, Jasper Philipsen here, the Belgian for Alpecin de Koning in the blue, I thought doing too much, but it was distancing the likes of Caleb Ewan, and so it was very effective. Others also climbing off early, Sam Bennett, unfortunately. And going through with 1 lap to go, we had a very select leading group, about 17, 18 riders. A nasty crash as well for Luca Mozzato. And a long chase to try and get back in too. He got back in, but never near the front of the race again. And there were punctures coming thick and fast too. Bram Welton, the next of those to suffer a puncture and find himself out of the leading group and in that second group. Pascal Ackermann was doing a lot of work in the leading group, as was Yves Lampaert as well, because Soudal Quickstep had 4 riders there in that leading group, including Fabio Jakobsen. Pascal Ackermann, having done a lot of work, the German, dropped from that group. And then we saw a very select leading group of 4 going under the pressure of Jasper Philipsen, big pre-race favourite, the Belgian for Alpecin de Koning. And he drove this group clear, bridging across to it as well, really impressively, Frédéric Frisson. You can just see him in the back of the shot there, having ripped across that gap, pushing a monster gear and hooking back up with Yves Lampaert and Olav Kooij alongside Jasper Philipsen. Behind, understandably, Soudal Quickstep were a little bit unsure about what to do. Davide Ballerini started working on the front, and all that pressure on the front was dripping riders off the back, including Arnaud Démare there too. And it would be much the same for Dylan Groenewegen as this continued too. Davide Ballerini and his teammates doing whatever they could. Groenewegen going out of the back with Démare, and they wouldn't quite get back on again after that point. We were watching this group, Jasper Philipsen, Olav Kooij, 2 very fast finishers, and what could Frisson do? Frisson opened up first, and then it was Yves Lampaert to try and go over the top of him. Yves Lampaert led into the final sweeping bend, but Jasper Philipsen, absolutely unstoppable come the line, despite the fact that Olav Kooij gave him a right run for his money. Big pre-race favourite and richly deserved after all the work he had done during the race. Jasper Philipsen getting yet another win, and this was what remains of such an attritional race at the Brugge-De Panne Classic. It really was a classic. Not quite the wins of 2020 when Yves Lampaert was the winner on that occasion, but strong wins, lashing rain all day, and tough attritional conditions. Jasper Philipsen with the win ahead of Olav Kooij, Yves Lampaert getting on the podium, thankfully for him and his team, and Fred Frisson in 4th place after that incredible bridge to that leading group as well. What a fantastic result again for Philipsen, proving his worth as one of the very best sprinters in the world, and Kooij proving himself as one of the fast men up and coming after his Paris-Nice stage win too. I do hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed bringing it to you. Don't forget you can catch it all the way back on the GCN